What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. I hope you all had a fantastic new comic book day and you were able to grab all of your books. In today's episode, I'm going to be going over my top 10 list of books that released this week for New Comic Book Day, September 7th, 2022. Overall, this was an awesome week. I am so pumped to talk about these books with you guys. Marvel released their brand new Aliens volume. Erratic is back from AWA Upshot, and from Image, we got the series finale for Twig. Before I get started on this top 10 list, if you are new to the channel, I drop weekly comic book content that's going to keep you up to date on all of the latest releases. So if you don't want to miss out on any of that, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified. Every time I drop new content, you won't regret it. And now let's get started on this top 10 list. And here we go, everyone. Kicking this top 10 list off first, we've got coming in at number 10, this is Marvel's. We've got Moon Knight, issue number 15. This is cover A. I'll tell you what, guys, this series has tremendously dropped off, in my opinion. I'm really not enjoying it that much anymore. I used to really look forward to when a Moon Knight issue came out. I'd be so pumped for it. I love the action, I love the artwork, I love the storytelling and the plot development. But as the series progressed, maybe around pushing issue number 10, I feel like everything just started to fall apart. And now with this issue in particular, I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with it, but to me, it seemed all over the place. We've got Jake Lockley, Mark Spector, and we also have Stephen Grant, 3 different personalities, and it's pretty much 3 different storylines going on in this series right now. A lot is going on. Maybe it's just me. I hope they tie everything together, but in my opinion, also was a little hard to keep track of who was actually talking. I know, without giving too many spoilers away, that was kind of the intended purpose, to kind of trick some of the characters into thinking it was one character and not the other one. But overall, it was a little hard to follow, and just in general, I'm not really enjoying this series as much anymore. Let's talk about it more down below, but for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 10 this week, we've got Marvel's Moon Knight issue number 15. Next up this week, folks, we've got coming in at number 9, we have DC's Batman Dear Detective. This is just a one-shot, and I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to end up putting this on my top 10 list, mainly because if you did pick this up, you'd realize it's not really a comic book. So it does say right on the back, which I didn't look at when I picked it up initially, it's a collection of groundbreaking cover art presented for the first time in prestige, oversized format. So what this is just basically a collection of Lee Bermejo's artwork, and it is truly phenomenal, and that's why I'm putting it in at number 9 on the top 10 list, mainly because I got more joy out of looking at these pictures and the artwork that he's done than reading that Moon Knight issue number 15. The artwork is incredible, but that truly is exactly what it is. It does have a $7.99 price tag on it, so be careful. I went into it thinking it was actually going to be a one-shot, when in reality, it really isn't. So for those reasons, it is coming in at number 9 on the top 10 list this week. We've got Batman Dear Detective. Technically, it's a one-shot. Now we've got coming in at number 8, this is Marvel's. We've got X-Men and Moon Girl, issue number 1. This is cover A, and this is the final issue of the Moon Girl miniseries, and surprisingly, I actually really liked it. I went into it with extremely low expectations. I thought it was just going to be this cheesy series, a Marvel cash grab, but I like what they did with it. I like the different team-ups. So you see number 1 on it, but pretty much this is, I think, the 4th issue. She did a team-up with Miles Morales, the Avengers, some other X-Men characters, and then they capped it off in this one with Wolverine, and Havoc was in it as well. Every story was really nice, and a little bit about the plot without spoiling too much. Devil Dinosaur goes missing, and now Moon Girl does all these different team-ups with different characters to basically find Devil Dinosaur. And like I said, it surprisingly was pretty good. It's nothing groundbreaking or anything, but it's a nice, fun little mini-series. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 8 this week, we've got Marvel's X-Men and Moon Girl, issue number 1. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 7, this is Marvel's new one. We've got Alien, issue number 1. This is cover A, and this is the start of a brand new volume of the Alien series. I was so hyped for it. I was so excited. I absolutely love that last volume. I felt slightly let down by this first issue. It started off with a complete bang, a lot of action, but that's not exactly where the story was going. It took us in a totally different direction. We've got synthetics on a different world, and that's where we're kind of at in this series so far. We really didn't see any of the aliens besides the very beginning of it. I'm excited for what's to come, but I'm just not exactly sold on it just yet. Without too many spoilers, basically all of the colonies are on the brink of collapse, and now we need these synthetics that the world and the government kind of just threw away on a different planet. They need their help, and if they do help them, they're going to get all of their rights back. And I don't know, it was an alright first issue. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with it, though. Let's talk about this one a little bit more down below. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 7 this week, we've got Marvel's new one, Alien, issue number 1. And now, coming in at number 6, we've got Marvel's Ghost Rider issue number 6. This is cover A. I actually really enjoyed this issue, and overall I'm enjoying all of the issues of the series so far, but the series, if this makes any sense, feels like a complete letdown to me. It's almost as if all of these issues kind of read like a one-shot. There's not really a set direction. There's not really a plot. It's just a bunch of different stuff happening, and Johnny Blaze just trying to find himself and I guess find out what's wrong with the inside of him. You find out a lot in this issue, and that's pretty much exactly what happens in this. Wolverine carries Ghost Rider, Johnny Blaze, into a bar and says, hey, we got a guy here, there's a problem, and you're not going to like what happens next. And he's dealing with the parasite or just the darkness that's inside Johnny Blaze the whole time. Some other stuff happens from there, but that's pretty much the entire issue. Not a lot of other stuff happens. And like I said, overall, great issue. Really good stuff in this, but just not a lot going on in the series. Everything kind of reads just like a one-shot. I don't know if that's just me. I'm going to be continuing on with this one, but I do want something to just happen soon with some of these other just side characters. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 6 this week, we've got Marvel's Ghost Rider issue number 6. And now we're down to the top 5 issues of the week. And if you are enjoying the video so far, be sure to hit that thumbs up button down below. So we've got coming in at number 5. This is Marvel's Punisher, issue number 6. This is cover A. I've been extremely back and forth on this series so far. I love the flashbacks. I love how they're showing all of just the stuff that happened to Frank Castle when he was younger and what kind of molded him to become the Punisher. The main just modern day plotline I don't particularly care about. So with this issue, it kind of fell in between. I love the flashbacks, and the rest of it was a ton of action. Everything that they've been building up to has finally led to this moment. We had a massive fight between Ares and the Punisher, but at the same time, they were doing flashbacks in between the fighting. Very well done issue. I really enjoyed this one. I still have high hopes for it. I love Jason Aaron as a writer. I love the Punisher. Some of just the modern day stuff that's going on, not the stuff in the past. Like I said, I love the flashbacks, but the just modern plot line, it's all right so far in my opinion. And for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 5 this week, we've got Marvel's The Punisher, issue number 6. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 4, this is Boom Studios, we've got Basilisk, issue number 11. This is the Sook variant, and I'll tell you what guys, it has been a while since I had something positive to say about this Basilisk series. But before I get started on what I liked about this issue, something that has been bothering me for like the last 2 or 3 issues now, and I know I cannot be the only one thinking this. How many times can they truly say Chimera in one issue? It's like every other character is saying it in every other dialogue box. The Chimera is this, the Chimera is that. They must be worshipped. I am Chimera'd out. I am over this series. I did really like this issue. I wish it would have ended with the 5 or 6 or 7, whatever they originally were supposed to do. And I regret saying I wish it was an ongoing series because of how awesome it is. They took a totally different direction with this story. It's not exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. So I'm riding it out to the very end, but it has been tough to get through. This issue, however, I really like what they did with it, despite all the negative stuff I just said. We got a little bit of backstory and how those original villains, the brothers and sisters, kind of got all of the powers, how they were taken to the cave, and a lot of stuff happens from there. A big setup issue. We got a lot of backstory, a lot of history on those characters, and I thought that was really cool. So take that for what it is, despite all the negative stuff I said about the series. I think it probably would be a lot better read as a trade paperback, though. Waiting month to month, it's not doing it for me. So maybe I'll reread it all once it's completed. But for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 4 this week, we have Boom Studios' Basilisk, issue number 11. Down to the final 3 issues of the week, folks. We've got coming in at number 3. This is Dark Horse's brand new horror anthology series. We've got Shock Shop, issue number 1. This is cover A. I was so pumped to see this on my shelf still. If you guys been following me for a while now, you know I'm a big horror fan, Cullen Bunn fan. Saw it there. I obviously had to pick this one up. So this issue is actually split into 2 different stories, and it's really cool. When you're finished reading one from one way, you actually have to flip the book over to the other side, and that's how you read the other story. And it gave me, just from the show way back in the day, Tales from the Crypt. We've got a narrator in the beginning, and she kind of introduces us to the story that's about to be told, but they're not one-shots. Those stories aren't finished, and they're going to be included in the next one. I'm not going to be getting too in-depth with them. One of them is about a group that goes into the woods, and the other one is about a divorced dad that moves into a haunted house. 2 cool little stories, but that's pretty much what it is. Definitely pick it up if you're a horror fan, and for those reasons, we've got coming in at number 3 this week, we've got Dark Horse's brand new one, Shock Shop, issue number 1. Next up this week, we've got coming in at number 2. This is AWA's Erratic Recharged, issue number 1. This is cover A. Oliver is back in a brand new volume of Erratic, and I could not be happier. I was so hyped up for this one. I was so pumped, and it did not let me down on any level. The storytelling, the characters, the plot development for a first issue, and the artwork was all fantastic. I highly recommend this series. I've talked about it in the past. If you haven't read anything with the Resistance or the Reborns, you're going to be a little lost in this. You need to read The Resistance, at least volume 1, before you start branching off into the other tie-in series, the other little mini-series. But they give a really good recap in the beginning. You're still going to be a little lost. You won't know exactly who some of the characters are or what led them to be where they are in this series right now. But you're going to get up to date enough to, I think, truly enjoy the series because it is extremely fun. We got a ton of action. They told us the plot and just such a fun read. Definitely check it out. And for those reasons, we have coming in at number 2 this week, we have AWA's Erratic Recharged, issue number 1. And here we go, everyone. This is it, my top read of the week. We've got coming in at number 1 this week. This is Images Twig, issue number 5. This is cover A. Did you really think Twig wasn't going to get the number 1 read this week? I absolutely love this series. The artwork and the storytelling. Twig and Splat, such a fun duo. And the other character that got introduced, I love that character as well. I honestly was a little worried about how they were going to end this little mini-series. I thought, I don't know if they're going to be expanding into an ongoing. I don't know if there's going to be a volume 2. I don't know how they're going to conclude it. I think it's going to feel a little rushed. I feel like it was perfect. I really enjoyed it. Maybe I'm a little biased. I'm a big Scotty Young fan. I've been a huge fan of this series so far. But when I was done reading it, I felt extremely satisfied. And here's going to be a small spoiler. Especially when you flip that last page and you see Twig will return. I was like, yes. I was looking like him on the front cover right there. That's how pumped I was. I don't want to spoil anything else. This was an extremely satisfying final issue. Let's talk about it more down below. And for those reasons, we absolutely have taken the crown this week at number 1, Twig, issue number 5. So that's a wrap on this week's top 10 list of books, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what books you picked up this week, which ones you think I missed out on, and absolutely what was your top read of the week. Thank you for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. And if you don't want to miss out on any of my upcoming content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and the little bell to get notified every time I drop new videos. You won't regret it. I've got 2 more sitting off this side here with more of my comic book content. Click on one of those and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.